Hello, this is Dr. Dave Gatros for COP 3353, our Unix class here at Florida State University. What I want to do is I want to go over some of the commands in Unix one by one. This one is about chmod, chmod, change access mode is actually what it's called, and we can look at the man page on that. Chmod, and the man pages work pretty well for brief explanation. I wish they had a few more examples in them. They don't, which is too bad. But I think a little demo of how it works might be in order here. But before we go any further, let me pull this over here and let me show you some definitions. I'm going to be using certain letters in this command, and you need to know what they mean. If I use the letter U, it's for users, G is for group, O is for other, or the world, and A is for all, which represents both all three, user, group, and owner. For the permissions, they'll either be read, write, or execute, R, W, and X. And the symbols plus, minus, and equal mean certain things. So plus means I'm adding a permission, leaving the others unchanged. Minus says I'm taking that permission away and that permission only, and then equal says I set the permission to this and this only. So if I change something and I use the equal sign equal read, if the person had read, write, and execute privileges before, now they'll only have read. So we'll pull this aside here and we'll go back in here. The other thing I want to explain is when we do an ls list for the listing of the directory, we come up with this permissions. Let me so on the left hand side here you see we have these string of characters, okay, and they have specific meanings. The first one will be, this is a dash. If there was a file in here, let me go ahead and create a temporary file. Let's show you what I mean. Temp -al. And now you'll see up here, you'll see that the D, the temp directory that I just created, has a D in it. That means that is a directory, the first letter. The next three are the permissions for the user, read, write, and execute. The next three, right here, are for the group. In this case, I belong to the CS faculty group. And then the next three after that are for the world, or other. And that's what we're changing with the chmod command. Let me clear this. Oops, clear. Now we're going to run through chmod. I'm going to do a few things here. And the file I'm going to work with is myfile.txt. So the first I'm going to show you the text. There it is. And you see I have no permission set for it at all. So let me go through and I'm going to add for the user, I'm going to add read, write, and execute. Okay. Now let's see what that looks like, and you see, okay, the first three characters, read, write, and execute. Let me do that for the group. Okay. And you'll see it changed it for the group. And now let me do it for the world or other. And you'll see that I have that. Now let me take some away. Let me take away the read-write permissions from the world or other, chmod, the other minus, and we want to take away read-write from myfile.txt. Okay, and you see it leaves execute. So now let me do this. Let me use the equal sign, show you how that works. So I'm going to say chmod, okay, for the other equal, just write myfile.txt. Okay. Now what you're going to see here is the execute went away. So when I use the equal sign, what it does is it changes it to that permission and that permission only for that type of person, in this case other. So let me use the plus sign now and show you how that's different. So let me say chmod other equal, or excuse me, I could use plus x. I could also do equal plus x, but I generally do this, myfile.txt. So what I'm doing is I'm adding execute to myfile.txt for other. Okay, let me look at it and you'll see that it left right there. So the plus adds it. The equal sign will actually set it to that and that alone. Now I could also do this. Let me go ahead and I'll show you how to do this in a little bit. I'm going to take away all permissions. So right now my file has no permissions for anybody. So I can actually combine them. I can put several at the same line. I can say user equal to read, write, execute. The group is equal to read and execute. Read and execute. And the other is just equal to execute my file.txt. Okay. Look at it and you'll see group user has all three. Group has read and execute, and owner has execute only. Now that's using the alphabetic version of the command. That's a relatively new thing in the Unix world. Whenever I first learned Unix, that didn't exist. What you had to do was you had to use an octal numbers. You can use 3 octal numbers, and it corresponds to this right here. The user is these 3, the group is these 3, and the owner is those 3 right here. Alright, so let's say that I want to have for the user, let me scroll down here a little bit. For the user, I want to have the on here. For the user, I want to turn read, and I don't want write, but I do want execute. For the group, I don't want read or write, but I do want execute. And for the other, or the world, I want nothing at all. Now what I do is I go through and I group these 3 together. Okay. And I merge these cells right here. So 101 in octal is the number 5. 001 in octal is the number 1, and then this is 0. So what I do is I'll move this over to the side. I put chmod 510, okay, chmod 510, my file.txt, okay, and there we have read and execute for the user, execute only for the group, and nothing for the world or other. I kind of prefer the numeric version of it. It seems a little faster to me. It's much more straightforward. But you choose whichever one you want. I'll do another example here. Let's say that I wanted to have all privileges for the user. That would be 7. And I want read. Okay. I know I want, this is very common too, is to have read and execute privileges for the group. That's a 5, and then also read and execute privileges for the world. That's 755. It's a very common permission. 755, 744, very common permissions. So we say chmod 755 my file.txt ls, and there we have read, write, and execute, and read, execute, and read, execute for everybody else. That is chmod briefly explained. Very useful command. You'll use it quite a bit for changing permissions, and hope this helps you out.